what's up, guys? It's Pat Danger here. This is the Pat Danger podcast, the first ever episode. Guitar, are you here?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm here with my man Gitara. What up, Gitara?
What's happening? What's happening?
All right, we're live. We're ready to go. We got a couple of viewers. Yo, first off, I just thought about this now. How did we even meet?
Oh, I know how we met.
All right, go ahead.
Uh, so one day I was just scrolling through Twitch, and I'm like, I feel like songwriting mood,
Hmm.
and so I just like typed in songwriting under the Twitch search, and then your stream popped up. I'm like, this dude Pat Danger. Let me go check him out. And I was just typing in the chat. I think this is like towards like the start of your streaming career, and I'm like, hey, let me check this dude out. Pretty cool. And now we're here on the podcast.
And yeah, and
That's
when you say pretty earlier on, I don't remember exactly when, but I want to say like within like my first three streams, you were there. Is that true? I think.
I don't know exactly. Bro, it might be. I don't. Oh, actually, I remember it because you were you said something like you're doing the process, and
Right.
like this might be boring or something. And I'm like, oh, I enjoy the process, and then we were just chit chatting from there.
Right. So when I first started streaming, I had no idea how streaming worked at all. So to be completely honest, my first time streaming, yeah, what up, Longboy? We got Longboy in the chat. My first time streaming, and probably my first like two or three times, I remember I was like super nervous because I had no idea how Twitch worked. I didn't know anyone who used Twitch. I didn't know anyone who was on Twitch and streamed or even like looked at streamers, whatever. So I remember I got like super drunk, and like that was the only reason I did it. I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, I started my very first stream and I made the title like freestyling tonight, whatever. And like I didn't know how Twitch worked, so I'm like, all right, so I might get like 10, 20 people to watch, and like fuck, I'm gonna have to freestyle in front of all these people. And then I started the stream, and like it was like zero viewers, and
Yeah,
then 30 minutes went by, it's like zero viewers, and like an hour went by, zero viewers, whatever. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna freestyle to nobody because nobody's watching this shit. So I'm like, all right, let me just do what I do anyway. Because prior to that point, I was already making music every day, just like I'm doing now, and like the entire thing, I just was doing it for I wasn't streaming it for no one. So I'm like, all right, let me just do the same exact thing I'm doing anyway, but let me stream it. And then you were one of the first people in my streams, and I think you
yeah.
I don't really know. I'm not going to pretend I know how it went exactly, but I want to assume it's probably something like you popped in while I was writing a song and you were like, "Yo, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, what's up, man?" Like same thing I said to everyone cuz I was once in a while to get like one streamer. So I would always be like, "Yo, just so you know, I'm writing a song right now. This is probably super fucking boring." Because like I didn't want them to just leave, or like I didn't even care if they left or anything. I just wanted them to know like I know this is boring. I'm sorry. But turns out people like you and like other people who would come in too, they actually really really liked the creative process, which I would have never imagined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't get to see the creative process for like a lot of people's work, and then you just get
Yeah.
to see the end result. So like every time I like get a chance to see like a songwriter or like musician, like the because there's a lot that goes into music, and like everyone just sees the end result, but no one sees like the process behind it.
True, true.
And like and I'm like really curious in the process. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. And like I didn't think about that. So from my standpoint and what I was thinking of, I'm like, all right, it's basically going to be like a beat playing over and over and over again, and like me not even talking because I'm trying to come up with some shit in my head. So I'm like, yo, who the fuck is gonna want to watch that? Some dude, just random ass dude sitting here with a random ass beat playing in the background, not even talking, not even trying to entertain them, whatever. But like somehow just like, dude, people like low key ate that shit up. And like
Yeah.
I would sit there for like 40 minutes and just not talk because I'm writing some shit in my head. And I'm like, all right, like, who the fuck is gonna want to watch this? Meanwhile, I go back to the thing, there's like six viewers. They're all like, yo, like, what are you writing? Like, what's next? What's next on the verse? Whatever. People love the creative process. And that's a good point you bring up that like nobody really post the creative process, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
And if like people do, there's just like a few.
right, and I feel like sometimes I see people, so now I'm like semi acquainted with Twitch. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
pretend like I really know how Twitch works. I've really only been streaming for like, I don't know, a month and a half, right? So like
Yeah.
very new to it, obviously, especially if you're comparing it to you or other people who've been on here. Some people have been on here for like 7 years, right? I don't know when Twitch specifically came out, but people have been on here for like 5, 6 plus years. So I'm not going to pretend like I know how it works, but when I go through the music stuff, because now I kind of go through the music stuff and I see, what people are doing. A lot of people do the creative process on beats and shit. Like they'll post like them making a beat from scratch. But I have yet to seen somebody who's just like, yo, I'm working on a song. Like I'm making a hip hop song. I'm writing lyrics tonight. I really have not even seen that. Not even once.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even sure if people are out there doing that or whatever, but I just thought it was interesting. And I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna be writing these songs anyway, why not just write these songs on stream and have people watch me? And dude, we've had some good nights. Sometimes I get like fucking feedback from you guys. Like the writing process itself is sometimes boring, but like it depends what process you use. But for my method, like me freestyling the beat over and over and over and over and like trying to like find like pockets and like cool flows and like different voices and tonations and shit, that I can see as being interesting. And I think that's what a lot of people have liked too.
Yeah, most definitely. Cause like there's like a gap between like understanding like what's actually happening
Mm-hmm.
and like I feel like a lot of people like don't like they don't get it because like we see finished products, but like you like bridge the gap in a way.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No,
Yeah.
it does make sense. Yeah, it is. It is bridging the gap in a sense because a lot of the times you do only see the finished product. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
times too, one of the reasons why I do like doing it, and also another reason why I think people like watching it, is I think it becomes less intimidating. I know when I was first starting off, and I want to say this is probably true for a lot of people, it's really intimidating to just make a song in general. And like, it's almost like, how do they do it? How I could never do that. I have no idea what the fuck to rap about. I have no idea what the fuck to say. How the fuck am I gonna find a flow? All this kind of different shit. And then if you actually watch someone do it, it's like, oh, like, they're not superhuman. They're not like,
Yeah.
they're not fucking like a prodigy. It's just like, yo, you do it, trial and error. You do it over and over and over again, and you kind of just learn how to do it.
Yeah. And it's like you're in a way like setting the like steps to do it even. Like in a way like role modeling how you go about it and like different ways to actually go about it.
Yeah,
And like a lot of people don't have that.
yeah, I totally agree. If anybody's curious what my process is, this is the process I've been using lately, and this is the process I've been using since I've been like making my best music and shit. And like, it's a faster way to do it. It's a better way to do it. Basically, I'll find a beat. Sometimes I'll listen to it before. A lot of the times I'll just like the first 20 seconds of it, and I'm like, all right, this beat's gonna work. I throw it into like a YouTube to MP3 download thing. I throw it into FL Studios and I just freestyle over it. And then I keep whatever part I like. And sometimes that part is literally just a phrase. Sometimes it's literally just a word or a flow, whatever. And I just go over and over and over. There are some like really, really one in a million type nights where I'll freestyle it, and the first take I do, I'm like, yo, this is amazing. We're keeping this, whatever. But more oftentimes than not, it takes like 10, 20 times, whatever. And I'll keep the parts I like. And basically, then I'm just kind of looking for tone and flow. What's up, Chaos Mickey Mouse? Thank you for the follow. So a lot of the times, no,
Yeah.
when I'm doing that, I'm just looking for flow, and then I'll go back in and I'll put some lyrics into it. He said, "Hey, Gitara, that's your boy."
Uh, that's just a good friend of the stream.
Okay, okay, cool, cool.
Kind
Um,
of boy, by the way.
so that's basically my process. You can talk about your process a little bit if you want, Gitara. If you have something that differs from how I get down with it.
Uh, yeah, my process is like constantly changing because like sometimes I'll like write, sometimes I'll freestyle, sometimes I'll do a little bit of both, and like I just mix it up all the time. But like what I've been like working on is like timing, like musical timing. Like I find like if I like land certain like emphasis words on certain spots and like work on like my like timing of the words and the cadence, like that's been helping me out quite a bit with
And
music related stuff.
and when you're figuring out those timing and cadences and stuff, are you freestyling it to figure it out, or are you kind of writing it, or does it depend?
I use it for both. Like I'll use it for cuz like I'll play like I do like a little bit of rap, a little bit of like guitar stuff.
Hmm.
Like I'm like all over the genres and like for at least guitar, like 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 I try to land words on the chord changes. I feel like it gives like even in the hip hop music if you like really dissect it, like they'll go on and off beat, but like there's like a metronome like dun dun. It's like dun tch, dun tch. And like a lot of emphasis are put on like those the four beats in the measure. If that makes sense. And like rappers will go on and off it and like create patterns in between.
It's that's cool. It's cool that you mentioned that because I know a lot about like how to find flows with rapping and stuff, but I wasn't
Yeah,
sure how it translated to other parts of music. So it's cool that you talked about how you do it with like guitars, um, how you can kind of figure out how to do it with that. It's cool, man. I never really thought about it like that.
yeah.
Have you ever thought about making? You don't make beats, do you?
Not really, no.
Have you thought about making beats or no?
I haven't given it much thought. I've tried it like a long while back, but haven't like I'm like there's like so much to learn, and like I don't know where to start or like what to get into. So like I put it on the back burner.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. That's like something I've kind of wanted to do for a while too, but I also have it on the back burner because it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like, yo, if I want to spend my time doing something productive, let me spend my time making a rap song or like whatever. Like, am I gonna have to make the beat too? Because then I'm like making the beat, rapping it, doing all the lyrics, mixing it, mastering. You know what I mean? Like at some point, it just becomes too much.
Yeah, too much of a hassle.
Yeah, too much of a hassle, and it's like personally, I'm like, dude, I haven't even perfected rapping yet. Why
Yeah,
am I branching out to something else when I haven't even like
yeah,
It's like, yo, I don't want to spread myself too thin.
yeah,
If it came to a point where I'm like, yo, like my songs are successful, I'm like doing well, I have like a nice follower base, I have the luxury of like waiting in between releases and shit, yeah, then I'd probably try to make beats.
yeah, for sure.
But at this time, it's like my time is already spread thin, and it's like I don't want to take on a whole new monster, you know?
Yeah,
It's just not trying to do that
yeah.
right now.
And on the topic of like spreading yourself thin,
Hmm.
like like I find myself doing that a lot. It's like I have like a lot of creative outlets, like art, music, writing, and like you have to like it's like a balancing act sometimes with like all of them. Cause like I can get really good at art or like music, and then like writing will take a backseat. But like you got to find like what you're most passionate about and like try to cater towards that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you're saying. It's almost like you have to either find a nice balance or like it's almost like, yo, you got to pick one to be your main thing.
Yeah,
I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know if this is true. I want to say your main thing is probably art. Is that right or no?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So like obviously you have like a heavy passion with music and you want to make music and all this stuff and like kind of talking before, yeah, you want to make beats and all this stuff, but like your main is art, right?
yeah,
Right. So like my main is rap, and like stuff that I have on the back burner is like also art. Like I want to make my own cover art. Is something I want to start doing recently, lately. But I want to make beats. I've been learning the mixing and mastering process, but like it's almost like, yo, you got to choose one to be your main. Otherwise, you're gonna be like all right at like six different things, which is good.
Yeah.
It's fine. It depends if you're happy with that. You know, you're happy with that. Whatever. It's like you're gonna be all right at six or seven different things, and like you're not gonna be like crazy good at anything. Or you
Yeah.
can pick one, and that's like your main thing, and like you can get like insane at it, and like that's the thing you're working for, and it's like, yo, I'm like really good at this. This might take off. This has the possibility to take off. And then like the other six things, it's like, all right, you know that's not gonna take off, but like it's still fun to do, still a nice creative outlet or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's like that's with me, and like obviously my main is like making music, like rapping, singing, whatever. That's like my main thing where I'm kind of like to the point where like, yo, I'm putting 100% energy into this. So it's like, yeah, maybe it'll take off. But like my beats or whatever, like even me making beats, I'm like, yeah, no one's ever gonna hit me up. Like, I don't know, someone Drake is never gonna hit me up like, yo, you make beats, like, let me get one of those, which is fine.
Yeah.
90%, 99% of the people aren't gonna ever care about my beats, and I'm cool with that because I'm not here to make beats. At the end of the day, I'm like here to
Yeah.
make music, and like obviously I love anything related to music, but I can't learn 100 different things related to music because I will never get good enough at any of them to, you know, make that my main thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a saying, it's like jack of all trades, but master of none.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that's like a perfect analogy. Yeah, and it's like some
Yeah.
people are cool with that, and I'm not saying there's
Yeah.
even anything wrong with that. If you're cool with that, do it. You know, but it's like for me personally, I don't really want to be like that. I want to master something, and like I want to master
Yeah.
rapping. So that's like my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
You,
you.
you were talking about your creative outlets before. You draw, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been drawing for?
I've been drawing since like pre-kindergarten.
Damn, I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like so I've known Gitara for I don't know a month, maybe more, right? A little more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like 2 months.
Somewhere in that range. Yeah.
I actually never knew you drew until I think I want to say I found out about your drawing because Longboy said I can't draw anatomy and probably won't do it. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, like stick to what you're good at, Longboy, or like stick to like one main thing you're doing. So guitar, I've known you for like maybe a month, two, let's say a couple months, right? I
Yeah.
never knew you drew because like you would pop into my streams and shit. You'd say what's up. You'd sometimes help me with music. We'd talk, laugh, whatever. You never like mention your drawing, which is it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think I found out you were drawing because I know how it was. Remember that night I found out your your little Discord thing.
Yeah.
How did I
Well,
find that? How did that happen? I don't remember that
uh,
night. I vaguely remember that night, but
yeah. What happened? I think I don't even remember exactly, but we were just talking about Discord. Or like someone mentioned like something about their Discord or something about Discord, and I'm like, oh, I got a Discord.
so yeah, so basically, yeah, this is what happened. We're talking about Discords. I had just made my Danger Zone Discord. If anyone's watching it, you could do exclamation point Discord. You could join. Um, so we're talking about Discord, and Guitar must have said something like, "Yeah, like I got my own Discord too, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, that's fine." I was like, "No, I didn't say that's fine." I was like, "Oh, you got your own fucking Discord. You never told me, you motherfucker." And then I think I went into it, and then I wasn't sure. Some people have their Discords, and like, I mean, they don't really do anything on there, whatever. But you had your Discord, and then you had like a share your art thing. I'm like, oh, it's cool, man. I like art, whatever. Let's see what there is. Maybe someone's good here. So I clicked on it, and then I saw you posted something, or someone posted something, and like it was a beautiful picture or something, and then or like a portrait. I'm like, oh, that's cool,
Yeah.
man. That's like cool. Who the fuck did that? And then I saw your little logo in the corner. I'm like, wait, Gitara did this? And then I think I hit you up on Discord. I'm like, dude, you
Yeah,
like,
you did.
yeah. I'm like, yo, you like draw. You don't just fucking draw. Like,
Yeah.
and then I was like, okay, this dude can draw his ass off. Like, he's actually like a real artist, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. Obviously, drawing is your main thing, just like music is
Yeah.
my main thing. Do your friends, and I'm not talking about internet friends, I'm talking about like your boys you play with, play basketball with, hang out with, whatever, your hometown, your best friends that you hang out with, do they know that you draw?
Not really. Like usually they're just my Hooper friends.
Okay.
Like people that yeah. It just never gets brought up.
So that's kind of like the reason I brought that up is because exactly like you just said, that's kind of like me with my boys. I'm like
Yeah.
very not pushy about my music. And
Yeah.
especially in person, I'm very not pushy. Online, sometimes I'll post online. I have I've been working on my online presence. I have like a Twitch now, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, SoundCloud, whatever. That I don't mind doing it. Random people on the internet, hey, Reddit, hey, check out my music. Hey, check out my music. Hey, check out my music. Whatever. I don't really care. But like people in person, it's not like I do it purposely either. It's like I just never talk about my music in person to like random people really.
Yeah.
And like I don't know your reason for it, but I'll tell you my reason is like it's not that I'm ashamed of it really. No, definitely not. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not embarrassed of it. It's like I personally I think for me personally, I'm afraid of being that dude who's like, "Hey, check out my mixtape." And I feel like we
Oh
all know
yeah.
one person like that and they're always like, "Yo, check out my mixtape. Yo, I'm about to blow up. I'm about to do this." So I just abstained from talking about it. Like I almost don't bring it up. It got to the point where like and this happened when I first started hanging out here all the time. Obviously, you guys know I live in the middle of the fucking woods now, and I just work on music 24/7, and like I don't have a different job. But like it got to the point where like when I first moved up here and I was doing music like crazy, like four different people hit me up. Some dude hit me up and he was like, "Yo, I saw you on my Spotify release radar." He was like, I didn't even know you made music. I saw this dude, Pat Danger, and I clicked on his fucking profile and I saw a picture of you. He's like, is this really you? Like, what? You didn't tell me you made music? This is a dude who I worked with for like 2 years. Just never talked about it, whatever. Um, and then I had another thing where it was like my old boss. He saw I have a music Instagram and I have a regular one. So on my music Instagram, I commented on my cousin who also worked at the same job. I put on one of his posts. I don't remember what I said, but like my boss ended up seeing the comment. He saw who's Pat Danger, clicked on it. He saw my videos and he's like, dude, I had no idea you made music. You never said anything. I would have had no idea. I went and I listened to all of your songs and all this shit. Um, so I guess there's no really specific reason that I don't do it. I saw Prodgus said humility. I think that's a good point. I think it's good to be like humble and like Longboy said, yeah, I don't want to be like that guy who's like super pushy and like also me as in general as a person. I really don't like talking about myself all that much. I rather hear about other people and what they're up to. But what's your reason
Yeah.
that like your boys don't know you draw?
I don't even know. It's like it just like never crosses my mind to be like, oh, I draw. Or like, cause it, like we're usually just hooping or hanging out, playing video games, all that stuff. But like, there's
How
like there's not much of like it's not like you just segue into oh yeah I draw, you know.
I guess so. That's a good point with your hooping friends. Like you're not gonna be on the court like yo, fuck this game. Like let me show you this portrait. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I can see how that wouldn't come up organically in a conversation. Like no one's talking about drawing on a basketball court. No one's ever like,
Yeah.
yo, look at this Spalding ball right here. I wonder, who made this logo. I'm super interested in drawing. No one's doing that
Yeah.
shit. All right, so like that's a bad example. Let's not even talk about hooping. What about like your boys? Does your family know you draw?
Yeah, my family knows I draw for sure.
They've been known. They're just like, yo, you've been drawing since kindergarten. We know he fucking draws.
Yeah. Like like my brother, he's just like my younger brother. He's like, yeah. I show him reports. He's like, oh, cool. He just goes on with his day and like
So I think that's also so it's funny that you brought that up because I think not like consciously do it, but I think that's also another reason why I don't show my boys my music. It's like one because I don't want to be that guy, and also two, I feel like they low key just don't care.
yeah,
Which is like kind of sad to say in one point. It depends. Obviously there's some boys who like care. My cousin
yeah,
is super into my music. He's the one who actually sat me down, and like I said before, he worked at the same job I worked at. He's the one who actually sat me down and was like, "Yo," he was like, "Dude, you like have something here." He's like, "Stop working at your job, do music full time, put your everything into it because like you're gonna regret it older if you don't, because you're actually somebody with talent who can possibly go somewhere." He's like, "It's scary because you're actually good." And he's like, "If you were bad, I would, you know." Tell you to pursue it as a hobby, but he's like, dude, I can see you like blowing up, so like just do it. And there's people like that, and then there's people like so last time, thank you, Prodguest. So then there's like guys who like I was back in my hometown last month for my birthday. My birthday was April 10th, and I just dropped this new song, and like looking back on it now, I'm just like, whatever. It really wasn't that good of a song, whatever. But anyways, I was like super excited to show my friends, and like we're all in the car and we're driving somewhere, and like we're all drunk and stuff, and like I was like, "Yo, what's up, guys? I actually just put out a song today," and like, "Oh, that's cool," and like that was it. And I'm like, "Do you guys want to hear it? Maybe?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead, put it on." And then I like put it on, and then like 10 seconds into it, everyone's just like talking again, and like talking over it, and
yeah,
like no one really gives a fuck. And like, dude, it's not even like I was hurt or anything. I really just understand that's how that shit kind of goes. But I was just kind of like, okay, like this is this is why I don't show my boys my stuff most of the time.
yeah.
And like it's
Yeah, I
weird.
feel that.
It's weird because for me personally, I get my most support, and I've always gotten my most support from random people online who I've never met before and probably will never meet in person. And then my actual boys who I see every day, they're just the kind of the ones who are just like, whatever. And like
Yeah,
I could post a song, and like a random person online who I don't know, they have nothing to gain from it. They're just like, yo, I'm reposting this, I'm liking it, I'm commenting on it, I'm showing it to 10 people, whatever. And then my actual boys like literally will just like gloss right past the post.
yeah.
So that's like a reason why I like do most of my shit online. And like I I have like a so what's like your we'll go back to you for a second. What's your coolest like online connection story? It could be with drawing or music where you like met someone online and like they turn out to be like a really valuable connection. If you have a story for that.
Uh, valuable connection. Well, like one of my boys who I met like while he was streaming. Uh, Shout out Sly Raptor Z. He was like part of the reason I got into streaming because I was like teeter tottering on the fence, and like I was like watching his stuff, and like there's like a whole bunch of reasons, but like I was watching a lot of his stuff, and then and then I would like always post my art, and they would always see it, and they're like, "Yo, you should stream," and then I'm like, maybe I should, and like he's done a lot of big projects actually. He's done like Super Bowl stuff for
Oh
like
shoot.
John Legend. He's like a storyboard artist. And I was like, yo, like he doing big things. Let me try to do big things too. So like I started streaming, and like the rest is history.
So that's pretty cool. So he's the guy who kind of got you into streaming.
Yeah, and he helped me like set up things like towards the start of it.
That's really cool. And this is like a random dude online, right?
Yeah, I met him like searching through the art section.
And he had like I was kind of talking about before, he had nothing to gain from helping you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, dude, like a lot of the times on the internet, as ruthless and as savage and as like fucked up a place as the internet is, there's still like good people and like you could also make like good friends. Like you dude, even in just the stream, we got Prodguest, we got Longboy. Um Prodguest has helped me even just the two people in this chat. Prodguest has helped me mix I want to say a dozen songs at least, and
Yeah.
he's walked me through hours of mixing shit, and he literally had nothing to gain from it. He's
Yeah.
not getting a cut. Not that I'm making any money anyway off this shit, but like it's not like he was like, "Yo, I want a cut of your, I'm mixing this for you. I want a cut of your fucking Spotify streams." And not that I'm getting
Yeah.
anything anyway, but that's not really the point, you know. And he literally would sit there and, I'm sure he has his own shit going on. He's always on FL Studios, but he would, dude, sat there and walked me through hours of mixing and like, dude, such like invaluable information he showed me, which is crazy. And we also have Longboy in the chat too, who also I did not know at all. And the whole Twitch, my Twitch layout you see right here, they did that entire thing. They've done all of my Twitch artwork. They've done a logo for me. Um, they've done all this shit too, and it's like also they also have nothing to gain from this. You know, it's like they did it for any money. They didn't do it for any reason. They did it because they genuinely enjoy helping other people, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are two internet connections right there, and that's just from Twitch, and that's just in like the last month. There's been like
Yeah.
tons of examples. There's people like you who have helped me. Sometimes I'm writing a song. I'm like, yo, guitar, does this sound good? Yo, guitar, what do you think about this flow? Yo, guitar, what do you think about this? You know, and
Yeah. I
that's
feel that.
just
I feel
one
that.
platform. But I think my best, not my best, but my first internet savior story is when I first started making music, and I'm talking about. So this is 2 years ago, and now I like my songs and like I get a lot of positive feedback. But like when I first started making songs, I think I've showed you guys some of my first songs. Just like the word for them are just not good. You know, that's what happens when you start out.
Yeah.
Um,
Gotta be willing to be bad to be good.
right, and I was very bad, and I was posting my music on Reddit, and I'm like, whatever, and like it would get like 5 views, whatever. Some random dude commented, and he was like, "Yo, He was like, I could tell you're new to mixing and mastering, which I very, very much was. I had no idea how anything works. Not that I am an expert now, but I had no idea what compression was or EQ or all this shit. But this dude was like, yo, I could tell you're new to mixing and mastering. I know you're just getting started making music, but I really like your sound. Let me mix and master all of your songs for free. And I'm like, holy fuck. And like this dude was like a savior, and he was so helpful and so good, and he took the time to do all this shit, and like that is worth so much more to me than like I don't know anything else. When people like are just selfless and take the time to help other people for no gain at all, whether that be financial, like clout type reason, when they're just like, yo, let me help you, that's like crazy shit.
Yeah.
So that dude mixed and mastered all my stuff. Longboy said, "You got the art, I got the working experience. It's win-win for us." That's a good way to look at it, Longboy, and I do appreciate it. Obviously, do appreciate
Yeah.
all of
Sometimes.
these helping things. Sorry, what were we gonna say?
Sometimes you just gotta like put yourself out in the world, and like you'll find people along the road who are willing to help you.
Yeah.
But you just gotta like just put yourself out pretty much. Yeah.
So speaking of putting yourself out, I make music, so I know how to put myself out there music-wise. How does somebody? I have a couple questions. First question: how does somebody put themselves out there drawing wise? Like you do your art, Longboy does art. How do you guys put yourself out there?
Usually through like social medias like Instagram. I know people do it through Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff. Like even TikTok. Like like not being like not like trying to shelter your art, but like putting it out for the world to see. and like it'll come with criticism, come with positives, negatives, all that stuff. But you just gotta like put yourself out,
How do you
share your art. Hmm?
when you when you so I only know as far as songs, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about hate comments right now. So as far as songs, I know how that goes, and it I surprisingly don't get that many hate comments, which is surprising to me because when I first started posting my music, it was something I was like genuinely concerned about. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
I want to post my music, but like, I know I'm not good. I don't want everyone to shit on it. But like, I want to say like, I've been posting my music for like years now, but especially recently, I've been like posting the shit out of it and going like hard as fuck with marketing. I want to say surprisingly 90% of the comments on no matter if I'm on Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, 90% of the comments are like positive. I'm like, yo, cool. Like I remember when I first moved up here and I made my first song since I moved up here, I posted on Reddit, and like Reddit is kind of like a notorious place where like people are just like, "Yo, kill yourself, whatever. Like you fucking suck.
yeah,
Like I fucked your mom and then I fucked you. You know, like some like stupid, crazy, ridiculous shit." So I'm like, should I post it on Reddit? Whatever. So I posted on Reddit. I like braced myself for like fucking hundreds of like comments where they're just like, "Kill yourself. You fucking suck. You're horrible." And like I want to say like out of like 100 comments I got, 98% of them, and my caption was also like pretty clickbaity and also like basically setting somebody up to just be like, yo, fuck you, fuck yourself. My comment was like my title was like, yo, I just quit. And it's true, it's not like it was clickbait, but it was true. I'm like, yo, I just quit my job to pursue music full time. Here's my first song. And like, dude, I literally set myself up where someone could have been like, why the fuck would you quit your
yeah,
job? You suck. But like 99% of the comments were like, wow, like, you made it right, the right choice, quitting your job. I would do that too, dude. You got some talent. Keep going. And like, of course, there's always like the couple trolls. Like, two people were just like, yo, like, go see if you can get your job back. You suck. But like 99% of
yeah.
the comments were chill. So, how do you respond to hate comments? Do you let it get to you or no?
Uh,
Realistically.
like for me, with hate comments, like I don't get too many hate comments because like the art community is pretty supportive. But
Mm-hmm.
like I don't like internalize like too much of the hate or like it's weird. Like you can like ask like a bunch of different artists. Like from what I've noticed, at least for me, I should just speak for me. Like even like positive things are like people are like, oh, your art's so good. I'm like, oh, thank you, and I'll appreciate it. But it doesn't like internalize, and like same with the negativity, like doesn't internalize. And it's,
That's actually very healthy. That's like a
yeah,
really healthy mindset.
yeah,
And I'm starting to get there. I think I'm at that point now too, where like sometimes I'll post some shit and like I said, like sometimes I get like 100 comments and 98 of them
yeah,
will be like, "Yo, you're fire, you're amazing, whatever, like whatever." And like I'm never just like, "Yeah, I'm fucking amazing." And like I never let it get to my head where I'm just like, "Yeah, like I'm the shit and I'm fucking Drake and
yeah,
all that stuff." I literally just read it like I was reading like I don't know. I guess the best way to compare it, hate and love comments. I read it like I'm reading like a fucking newspaper. It's like, dude, like, uh, there's no emotional aspect of it to me. Whether they're like, "Yo, you're amazing," it's like, okay, cool, and I do appreciate it. Of course, I appreciate it, but I'm not like,
yeah,
yeah, like that's fucking amazing. This one dude likes it. That means it's fucking awesome. And the same thing where
yeah,
someone's like, "Dude, kill yourself." I'm not reading it like, maybe I should kill myself. I'm just reading it the same way I'd read like a fucking book, dude. I'm like, okay, this is what this text says. It's it, you know.
yeah,
Um. So yeah, I don't let it get to me. I think at one point when I was new to posting my stuff, I did let it get to me, and which is very unhealthy. And I'm glad I don't do that anymore. Now I kind of have the same mindset like you just said, where like it's just words. But I think at
yeah,
one point, like say I got 10 comments and like nine of them were like, "Yo, you're amazing," and one of them was like, not that good. Like that dude, that one comment used to fucking eat me alive. Like I had to
Yeah,
please everybody. And it's so stupid and it's such a lose-lose game that you will never ever win, no matter if you're fucking Drake or like Future or someone amazing. You can be an incredible artist. You can be the fucking Beatles. There's still gonna be that one guy who's just like, you guys suck. You know?
yeah. The critics will always have something to say.
Yeah, no matter what, you're not gonna be someone's cup of tea. Now I'm just
Yeah,
like, whatever. If someone doesn't like it, I don't take it personally. I'm like, all right, it's not their style. That's fine. How many fucking songs do I
yeah,
hear on the radio or in Spotify or whatever? I'm like, it's just not my style, you know.
yeah.
And
For
long,
me with art, oh, go ahead.
sorry, I just want hold that thought and remember that. I just want to say this before I
Yeah,
forget. Longboy said, and this is a really good point too. And you could talk about this too. Then I will if you want. People, Longboy said, people who post hate comments, not a criticism, probably never do the stuff that you do.
yeah. Because
So
like they're projecting their limitations onto you, because they can't see themselves doing it, and they just try to like they don't want to change or evolve into a place where they are trying to strive for it, and they see you like going up, and then they saw like the level in which they are, and then they're like whatever they can do to like make you trip or stumble, they'll try to do, or to make you doubt yourself.
I totally agree. I actually have a story about me on the other end of this, me being a hater. And I will admit it, dude, I was such a hater. So I want to say I was like 17 years old. So keep in mind, I only started making music 2 years ago. So I was like 22, 23, whatever. Um, so I remember there was this dude in my high school, and he made music. And like, he wasn't big, but like, everyone in my high school knew about him. He was like the music
Yeah,
guy. They're like, yo, this guy's a rapper. He was like the only one, really. Um, and I remember it was also at a time. So I've a little backstory to this. I've always wanted to make music forever. I just never
mm,
went ahead and did it. So like even at that point, I'm only 17. I was dying to make music, just the way I'm dying to make it now, because I've always been like that. I just never was proactive about it. Never did it. So there's this kid in my high school who's making music, and I'm like 17, and like everyone in our school knows about him and all this shit, and like I just retroactively, I'm like looking back at it, I was the biggest hater, and like dude, his music was actually really good, and this is me
yeah,
saying it like now in the future. It was really fucking good. It was good at the time. It was getting a lot of attention from our school and shit. But like, I was such a hater, and I think the reason why I was a hater is because I was jealous. And like, of course, I
yeah,
couldn't admit that at the time, and I couldn't admit it to myself or anyone else, whatever. But like, someone would play a song at like a party, or like they'd be like, "Yo, did you hear this new song by that guy, the fucking senior or whatever?" And then I'd be like, "Nah, man, that guy fucking sucks. Like, his lyrics are stupid and his flow is stupid or whatever." And like, realistically, I was just being a hater because I was so jealous that he's even making music.
yeah,
So like, Longboy brings up a good point. These people who are commenting shit and who are just like, "Yo, you suck." They're probably in the same boat I was in, where they're like, "Yo, I wish I could do this, but I just whatever for whatever reason you don't or you didn't."
yeah,
And it's also like Longboy said, Prodga says, I think it's interesting. It's a competitive mindset. I totally agree. And also Longboy put in quotes, not a criticism. So that's a good point too. Sometimes, um, sometimes now that I'm more mature and I also am making music, sometimes I will criticize music that I hear, but not hate on it. Like,
yeah,
there's this one dude on TikTok who's like, he's just really fucking bad and like whatever. And like, instead of me commenting like, "Yo, you suck," I comment like, "Yo, just get your flow down more." I don't remember what I say. Get your flow down more. You gotta do this with your vocals, whatever. So like, criticizing is way different than hating on someone.
yeah. You
And
want to build people up, not tear them down.
yeah, I agree. And I think there's also a right way and a wrong way to criticize someone.
Yeah,
Um, I remember I was on a Twitch music feedback stream pretty recently, like the last couple weeks, and some dude played a song for the stream, and another dude comments and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "This your mixing sucks." And he's like, "Let me mix it for you," which is kind of
Oh
like a
yeah, I saw that.
it's like a kind of like a backhanded thing because one, you're saying he sucks, but like two, you're also like, "Yo, let me mix this for you." And it's like he's not saying his vocals or lyrics or anything sucks. He's just like, "Yo, your mix sucks. Like, I will mix it for you."
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like a right way and wrong way about going about it for sure. Um, Also, you were saying something before we started talking about this. Do you remember what it is or no?
Oh man.
I know. At
uh
this point, it's like, oh wow,
yeah. Yeah. Uh yeah, it must have slipped my mind. Couldn't have been that important.
that's fine.
But
As you guys will see, as I do more and more of these, my fucking train of thought is horrendous. It's more like a fucking train wreck. I'll start talking about one thing and it'll remind me of like 400 different things.
yeah, I feel that. My brain just goes all over the place making connections
Longboy
while the two.
said, that guy's kind of like, I'm better than you, fuck off. Yeah, I agree, Longboy. There's like a right way and there's a wrong way to criticize somebody. Like,
Yeah.
so do you, you post your art, Gitara.
Yeah.
Do you get people, do you get people still who are just straight up hating? You still get those or no?
Not really. There'll be people who like put like it's like randomness. Like
No one's ever like, yo, you suck anymore, at least,
nah.
right?
Yeah.
Do you get criticism where someone's like, "Yo, you're shading." I don't know how fucking art works. Someone's like, "Yo, your shading sucks" or whatever. You get that or no?
I mean, I seek it out. That's like
You
the
said
quickest
what?
way. I seek it out, like criticism. I have one friend who's like he won't sugarcoat anything with me. So like if I draw something off, he's gonna tell me it's off. Or if he thinks I can improve one thing, or like a whole bunch of things, usually he'll tell me, and like I'll,
So
I'll always,
that's a really
I'll be,
interesting point. How important do you think it is to have people like that in your circle where they don't sugarcoat something?
I think it's really important because like your ego can be inflated by like like I don't want to say yes man, but it's like yes man. Like if people are always telling you, oh yeah, you got the best stuff, you like build this image in your head that like, oh I'm good now, I don't gotta improve, I don't gotta like strive for better. Cause like in art, like or any creative endeavor, you can like always get better. It's like
It's
you might hit
almost
like walls, but yeah.
my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. It almost reminds me of this one time me, Longboy, and Gitara were making a beat. You remember that night?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we're making a beat and like it's I can't even call it a beat. We're literally just like
Oh yeah,
it
I
wasn't a
remember.
beat, you know, we just put random drums and then we're kinda like yo, I bet like we're like basically we're just all kind of like, yo, people will gas up anything. I bet people are gonna come into the stream and be like, yo, this beat's fire, even though it was like some bullshit drums and snares and shit. Remember?
Yeah,
So that's kind of like that. Just kind of reminds me of how some people are just like yes men,
yeah,
and I think if one, it's cool as fuck that you. Longboy said, "Oh, that night I kind of acted like a little bitch." Nah, you didn't, man. You're good. Uh, so it's cool, Guitar, that you said you actually seek out criticism because that's like one of the true tests for me how to know if somebody's serious about their art form or not. So at first I thought
yeah,
you said you don't seek out criticism. I was going to ask you like why not? Like criticism is amazing. But you said you seek out criticism, which is cool, and that's exactly what I do too, and which is why I post on all these music feedback streams and why I ask you guys what you think and why I send you guys songs and like, yo, is this good or not? Whatever. Um,
yeah,
I think it's very, very important to surround yourself with people who One will not sugarcoat it. Two will be like, yo, this sucks or this is good. But like there's a difference between there's like I feel like there's three stages. One, there's yes men where they're just like, yo, fire, amazing, this is awesome,
Yeah.
and that gives you nothing, right? That
Yeah.
there's no value in that, unfortunately, unless it really is fucking fire. But unless you're fucking showing them like God's plan, there's got to be some sort
Yeah.
of criticism. Then on
Yeah.
the other end of the spectrum, there's just hating ass friends, where like you just show
Yeah.
them and they're just like, yo, this sucks. Like, yo, not whatever, this is not good, whatever. And then they don't offer you any sort of criticism. And then there's like the perfect medium for me is where it's almost like a fucking like father figure type shit where it's like it's hard to get their approval, but it's still attainable. And when you do get that
Yeah.
approval, it feels fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like I have friends where like I'll show them some shit and like 70, I don't want to put a number on it, but like I'll show them some shit and like oftentimes and a lot of the times they're just like, no, not good, sorry man, or like, don't like this, whatever. But like when they do give you that like, yo, that shit was crazy, that's what fucking puts a smile on your face and you're like, holy shit, like this guy says it's
It's
good, it must be good, you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah. Like people who like don't sugarcoat stuff, like their opinion, like it's like more valuable than
Yeah, you
like if they just tell you, oh sorry, go for
no,
it.
go ahead.
Like if they just like tell you everything's great, then you're like, well, like if you make a bad song, and you know it's a bad song, you're like, oh, it's great. Then you're like, well, now I know that maybe I should like ask a few other people. But like when you have that one friend who won't sugarcoat it, and like when it's actually good, they won't just be like, yeah, it's good. Like they'll actually tell you it's good, or when it's bad, they'll actually tell you it's bad. Like that's like super valuable.
Yeah, yeah. Super, super valuable. That's one of the most valuable things. You want someone who's going to tell you straight up how it is. And yeah, that's just like a good thing to have. It's something you should
Yeah,
like seek out too. And that's like another reason why I started posting my stuff on the internet and why I do respect the internet's opinion. Because the internet, in a lot of ways, is like a hive mind. And like,
yeah,
it's almost like, and a thing you have to realize about the internet, if like a majority of them say one thing, they're probably right because like that's just the majority. And it's like
yeah,
that's like taking your ego out of it. Like I saw something
yeah.
recently. It's like it was a TikTok and some dude posted him, he was like mid live performance type thing. There's like 200 people there and like he was doing some EDM set or whatever and like it was build up, build up, build up, build up. Right when the beat was about to drop and everyone was like about to get into it, he does some weird like scratching on it and like some weird
Uh,
mixing and like some old school shit and like literally the crowd just dies and they're like whatever. And he posted it because he thought it was dope. He was like, yo, nobody scratches like this anymore, show me someone who's scratching like this. And then literally 98% of the comments were like, why the fuck would you even do that, you literally just killed a crowd. And this dude was responding to all of them and he was like, you guys just don't get it, you don't understand art, whatever. And I commented and I'm not, dude, I literally spent like 10 minutes on this comment, just not 10 minutes, whatever, 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my God. And I commented and basically I said what I'm telling you. I'm like, bro, look at the comments. 99, this dude literally had like 200 comments. I'm like, bro, look at the comments. 197 of them are telling you you fucked up and this is stupid. I was basically what I said. I was like, yo, there's 200 comments here. 197 of them were like, yo, this sounds horrible. What the fuck are you doing? I was like, do you think, I said this to him, like, yo, do you think we are all wrong? 99% of us are wrong? Or do you think you are wrong? I was like, and if you think we're all wrong, I was like, you got to check your fucking ego, man, because you're not fucking God, dude. You're wrong in this situation. And he commented back to me, and he basically said this. And dude, I got a lot of likes on that comment, more than anyone else on the fucking post, like 200 likes. And he commented back, and he was like, "Well, it has 60,000 views, so what do you think? Like, just because I got 200 hate comments, I still got 60,000 views. And like in my head, I'm like, that means nothing. I didn't even respond, bother commenting to it. I'm like, dude, I'm not wasting my time commenting this fucking idiot. But it goes,
Yeah.
it
Some
goes.
people
Go ahead.
some people like rather live in their illusion or a lie than face the truth and have to change it.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree, and that's a great point. And it's like, dude, at a certain point, if I was like, at a certain point, dude, you just gotta wisen the fuck up and
Yeah.
like be like, yo, I'm wrong. There's a chance I'm wrong. As much as that
Yeah.
sucks, who the fuck wants to admit they're wrong, you know?
Yeah.
But like at a
Takes a lot of
certain,
humility.
it does take some humility. That's why, dude, sometimes you once in a fucking blue moon, you'll see some shit like that. Like say that dude posted it and like he got 200 hate comments. Once in a blue moon, and this is super rare, he might comment back like, "All right, you guys are right, fucked up." But like no one
Yeah.
really does that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just I've been seeing a lot of that stuff lately with music, art, whatever. I see a lot of my TikTok, my For You page is full of just musicians and stuff and rappers and all this shit. A lot of them are really good. And some of them are just like really fucking bad. And like
Yeah.
they're like objectively bad and it's not me trying to like shit on them either. That's just like I'm saying like on my For You page, it'll be like just like I said with that guy. It'll be a DJ or a musician or whatever. Same thing, dude. 100 comments and all sometimes, dude, all 100 of them are like, bro, this is trash. And they'll fucking their ego is just so big, they'll respond to every single one like, yo, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm gonna fucking blow up and I'm gonna get back at you guys and all this shit. Dude, if they just took the time where they're like, all right, this does suck. How can I fix this? That's how you get better.
Yeah. Like for art, people like it's like style. People use like style as like a cover up for like not understanding like proper techniques, like anatomy. They're like, oh, is this my style? And then they like even if they're not drawing like if they're like drawing not super great, like they'll just say, oh, style, and they'll never like face the fact that yeah, maybe your style, but if you understood like the basics a little better, then and I'm not trying to knock anyone, like if you like took time to like understand the basics, your style would improve even more and it would progress even further.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy how some of this shit translates across any medium of art. Same exact thing with music, man. Like I said, dude, you can get 100 hate comments and they'll just be like, "Yo, you don't understand me. This is my style." It's like
Yeah,
it's just that's not an excuse, you know? And Longboy said, whenever I saw an ego-fueled person, no matter how good they are, I felt cringe. But when I saw a humble person, no matter how shitty they are, I'll go be like, yo, go man, keep going, my dude. Longboy, I think that's a great fucking point, and I am the same exact way. When I see someone humble, if they're humble and shitty, it's so fucking cool. As opposed to someone who's just like super arrogant, even if you're good, it's like, bro, it's like fuck off, man. You know?
yeah.
All right, guys, it's 11 o'clock. We're probably going to wrap this up. I'm going to be on my troll. I'm going to be streaming on my troll account in like 10 minutes, not even. Probably doing some stupid Omegle shit. Guitar, you got anything you want to say before we sign off?
I want to say thanks for having me on the podcast. Much appreciated. Shout out to everyone who dropped by.
Oh, hell
Make
yeah.
sure to follow the man, Pat Danger.
Hey, thank you, brother. Yeah, thank you for coming on, man. I really do appreciate it, Guitar. Thank you. My first guest ever.